Welcome back to DawnCraft Echoes of Legends. In this video I'm going to show you everything you need to know about spell books, spells, kind of a complete guide on how to get a spell book, how to upgrade the spell book, and spells and things like that. So, as you can see, I kind of have some things on the wall here. This is going to be like a step-by-step. So first off, when you pick your class, if you've already picked Astrologer, you're already going to have this first spell book, but I'm still going to walk through it. So the first spell book that you need to get is called the Iron Tome. So with the Iron Tome, it's a uncommon spell book. It's actually pretty simple to make. So even if you do just spawn into the world, you should be able to make it pretty easily. As you can see, it's just leather, paper, and it doesn't have to be like this leather. It can be like the normal leather that you get. As you can see, this first one there, chain, pretty easy to make. So once you get the Iron Tome, you'll have no spells unless you picked the Astrologer class, which you'll have 3 spells. I think it's magic, the shield, and the missile, I think. But if you have no spells, we'll kind of get into what you need to do to get spells or how to make the spells. So the easiest thing to do is to get spells, and so I'll walk you through where to go to get those. But you're going to want to make the Inscription Table. That's what this looks like here. Again, I'll just show it on screen. So the Inscription Table is to be able to put in and take out spells. So this is how you make it. It's pretty simple. And a lot of this stuff, if you go to your quests, is in the magic one here. You can kind of follow along with this to get where you need to be. But the Inscription Table is what you need next. Even if you don't have spells, at some point you're going to need to put the spells in there. So you're going to want that. So I'm going to show you here now how to get spells. The easiest way that I found to get spells in the world is to find, I like to call them like the magic castles. So when you go into these magic castles, there's going to be, I think, 3 stories. There's no enemies in the top of it, but there is one mage in the basement. And so if you go in, you can go upstairs. There's some chests. There's some things in there that you can find. And so you're going to want to try to find these as much as you can, because you're going to get a lot of good items from it. Now you definitely want to go down to the basement. You're going to have to fight this mage. So hopefully you have like a good sword, or you have a good like just items in general. Usually the mages aren't too tough, but just be careful fighting them. And there's some really good chests down in like the secret area where you'll be able to get a lot of good items. That's where I found some spells. And then again, throughout just when you play the game, getting the other like bosses along the way, you'll find some spells. But in general, you're going to have to find your early spells. Making the spells early is going to be almost impossible, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But this will be the best way to find your first few spells and get something going if you didn't start with the Astrologer class. So with that though, we'll go kind of into the next part. There are other areas to get the magic spells, like you can go to the swamps. Anytime you find like a mage, make sure like you can beat them. They sometimes drop spells. And then the second part, like sometimes they have chests in the area, but definitely look for the magic like castles is what I call them. So the next part here, we have the scroll forge. So kind of get into how to craft your spells. The reason why I said you can be really challenging is because you need a specific item. And so we'll kind of look at the scroll forge real quick. Again, in this quest book, it is here. You can click on it. How you make it is deep slate, which you'll have to mine to get, and crying obsidian, which you can find in the world randomly. Usually, like if you see the nether portals that are already kind of in the world. So sometimes if you go to your map here, you'll see like these little netherrack points. I'll just teleport to this one real quick just to show you. So usually at these nether portals, you'll find some crying obsidian. This one doesn't have any. Okay, we spawn to another one. And as you can see, this one's, they will have sometimes these little guardian guys because of the chest here. So if you just don't click the chest, they'll never spawn. But as you can see, there's one crying obsidian at this one. So if you look on your map, you'll see like these little red spots here. You can kind of scroll over it. It will say netherrack. And you'll be able to find some crying obsidian like in those areas. So after you get your scroll forge made, now we need the items to create a spell. And so there's 3 items up here. It's going to be ink, a spell, or a paper, and then the item that you're going to need to make the spell book. So ink, let's talk about that, because that is the next kind of roadblock. So there's going to be 4 kinds of inks. Each of them have like a level that will level up the spell, if that makes sense. I'll explain that more. So I have all the items in here to make the magic missile scroll. I already kind of have it here just to show you. This is what a level 1 common spell, which works with the Ironbound Tome. Let's just get a common ink. We'll get a piece of paper. and then we'll get the Ender Eye. So you'll see if you type in up here, any like just type spell, it'll show you all the items you're gonna need. So with this one, it's the different kinds of inks, paper, and blaze rod. So you're coming in the scroll, forge, you put your ink in the top, you put your paper in the middle, and then on the right, based on the ink level, you'll have different levels of the spell. So we'll get all of them in here. And again, I'm in creative just to show everybody everything. So right here, this unlocks the magic missile, which is what we're looking for, and dragon's breath. But the higher level you go, you'll unlock higher levels of spells: teleport, starfall, and then counter spell, magic arrow, and then for the legendary, which is going to be the best spells or the most expensive, you get the abyssal shroud, evasion, counter spell, void tentacles, black hole, all that stuff. The legendary ink I have yet to like find a ton of. You'll find a lot of these 2 and 3, but essentially all you'll do is you have those. We want the magic missile, and then you'll just click it, and that's going to make a level 1 spell. I believe it's always level 1 no matter what. And so you create your level 1 magic spell, and now you'll take it over to the inscription table. You're going to put your spell book in here. You'll click the area that you want it to be, so you kind of select where you want, and you'll just click this. And that's it. You take your spell book out. Now you have the magic missile. So another thing is if you click T, you can scroll through your spells. Let's say we had another spell. We'll take this magic missile out. We have another spell in the book. You can have multiple of them kind of in the area. This is not going to let me add that one because I already have it. But you can use T to scroll through them, or you can hold Shift, and you could also scroll through them if you do Shift in the scroller on your mouse. It's 2 ways to... I'll just show you. Let's just type in a spell. Get any random spell. Firebolt. We can't add Firebolt because it's an epic spell. Let's find a common or uncommon. We'll do Electrocute. We'll do Cone of the Cold. Put that in. We'll add the cone to our spell book. We'll put it there. So now when you click T, as you can see, I can cycle through quickly, or you could shift scroll your mouse, as you can see in the bottom left, it's cycling through those. So that's 2 ways to kind of go about that. Okay, so you have the Iron Tome. Now you're ready to upgrade. You want higher level spells, better than uncommon. And again, they go all the way up to rare, which you can't put in your book because it's not a high enough level, epic to legendary. So let's look at the next upgraded book, and I'll explain how to get to it. So here we have the Enchanted Spell Book. So if you look at this is an epic spell book, so it can hold any of the spells up to epic. You're going to want to jump to this one, and I'll explain why. But let's explain how to make it. So I'll put it back. We'll look it up here on the epic spell book, and I'll explain everything that kind of comes along with it. So epic. Here it is, epic, or the Enchanted Spell Book, not an epic. It's the Enchanted Spell Book, but it's an epic spell book. So with this, you're going to need Arcane Cloth, which a lot of this Arcane Essence you're going to find doing those magic castles that I told you about. But you'll find this just kind of fighting any of the magic people in DawnCraft itself. But definitely hunt those magic castles. You'll find a lot of that. Second, of course, diamonds. You'll find those. And then the last thing is hog skin and enchanted book. Now, the hog skin means you'll have to go to the nether. I have been told that you can find hog skin in the world, but I haven't been able to find it ever. So to get the hog skins, we're definitely going to have to go to the nether. And then one warning with the nether is it will make your game harder. With that, there's the creepers have like extended range. It's going to spawn higher level enemies. So there is like a kind of a downside to upgrading it, but at some point you're going to have to go to the nether. So this is one of the best ways. So we'll go to the nether now. We'll teleport in. And of course, if you played Minecraft, you understand, you know, where the hogs are. But just to make sure people know, I'm going to go creative mode. I'm going to fly over to the Crimson Forest. I kind of know where it already is for me. But you're going to want to find the Crimson Forest. That's the easiest way to find just random hogs that just spawn in. And so you're going to need 2 hog skin. So you just kind of look around in here and find the hogs, and then hopefully they drop it. They don't always drop it, but There's a really high chance. Or the second thing is you can find the Hoglin village. They have like little villages here, and then you'll find a pin that's in their village full of hogs. So let's kind of look around. There's one there. See if we can use just this random sword I just spawned in. Boom, we did not get, yeah, we got 1 hog skin. So again, like I said, it'll take, what was it, 2 hog skin, 4 hog skins. So you need to kill 4 of the hogs in order to get enough hog skin. So we'll go back and use the warp stone. I definitely suggest making that. Awesome. So you have everything. Create the Enchanted Spell Book. You put it together. You made the Enchanted Spell Book. Awesome. So now again, like I said, now you can add in those epic spells that you couldn't do before. So again, if we come into here, just to give you an idea, this is a level 8 spell. So we'll type in Magic Missile. We'll go up to epic just to show everybody what it looks like. And then we'll do, I will use both. We'll come up to this and just to explain the levels. This is an uncommon Iron Tome. This is an epic. And you'll see this X right here. That just shows that that scroll is too rare for this spellbook. So we'll take this out. We'll add our enchanted, click, and now we can have the level 8 magic missile. So at some point you're going to have to get to this book. Now why this book? The main reason why you want this book is it is the kind of step to get to the next book, which is the best book in the game in my opinion. So it's going to be called the Legendary Codex. This is what it looks like here. Or the Ancient Codex. It's a legendary spellbook. I keep using the levels. It's called the Ancient Codex. It's a legendary spellbook. And as you can see, to make it is very expensive and tough. So we'll kind of walk through this. So you're going to need netherite. I'm going to show you the easiest ways to get netherite. You're going to need arcane cloth, which again we already know how to make. And you're going to need blood vials, which you'll get from vampires, glass, and then kind of any food. And then the last thing you need is the bottle of lightning, and I'll kind of show you some different ways to get that. So let's start with the first thing here, which is netherite ingots. So we'll go back to the nether here, and I'll show you 2 of the easiest ways to get netherite. Of course, with the normal traditional way we'll talk about, but this is the new way. So when you spawn in, you'll spawn in somewhere random. There are these areas called Ancient Battlefield, as you just seen pop up. So it'll look like this. I'm just going to kind of show you like what the area looks like. You'll see like these armors on the ground here. Kind of looks like there was a battle, a big forge that was, or a portal that was broken. A lot of crying obsidian. Now those monk guys you're going to want to be careful of, but what you're going to want to do is find these piles of armor. What you can do, you can actually walk up to them, you'll mine them. So we'll just get a pickaxe real quick. Of course, it's going to have to be diamond or better. You're going to want diamond anyways. Oh, we're in creative. Let's go out of creative. Game mode. You're going to want to come up to these and mine them. When you mine them, it's going to spawn these guys. And these are like the down soldiers. When you beat them, they will actually drop like nether scales and things like that, or netherite. I think they're netherite scales. So you can beat them. They can drop cinder essence, or they'll also drop netherite. Is it called netherite scale? I'm pretty sure it's netherite scale. Yeah, they'll drop the netherite scale sometimes. So there's a bunch of these around here. There's no netherite in the ground actually, but you'll be able to go and mine all of those, fight them. They're not too tough, just make sure you have good armor and stuff to fight this stuff. And then of course the nether things that will spawn, but that's one way to get it. Then of course the second way is to go to level Y15 in the nether. So you go anywhere, and in DawnCraft you're gonna have to make a compass in order to see what level you're at. So we can pull the compass out. We're at Y64. So, and of course, you can go down all the way to Y15 and mine for ancient debris. And then you'll be able to get ancient debris, end up making another right ingot. So, if you know how to do that, that's kind of the easiest way to find nether. There are opportunities you can find nether in like kind of dungeons and stuff in the nether, but the ancient battlefield and the normal ways, the best ways. Okay, so the next thing is you're gonna need the blood vials, which is, this is a vampire behind me, so you're gonna have to defeat, you know, some of these guys in order to get, they'll drop the vampire things. Not every single time, but most of the time they'll drop the vampire things, and then the blood vial, you'll see here, this one here is crafting table, any type of raw meat, glass, and that, it'll make those. So pretty simple. They spawn at night. You can find them just roaming around. So with that, the last thing is the lightning bottle, and the lightning bottle is interesting one because there's two ways to do it. I'm going to show you both ways here. So one way with the lightning balls, you can find them in those magic castles with the other items, and so if you find those there, you're lucky. Most of the time they are in there, but you're going to have to find a lightning bottle at some point. And the other way is actually to do it the normal way, which is to find a creeper. So I'm going to show you those steps here. So you spawn in a creeper. You're actually going to need a certain spell. It's the lightning spell. It's going to be the lightning bolt, which is an epic spell at its like lowest level. So you're going to need the book I already have. We'll get the lightning bolt scroll. We'll put the lightning bolt scroll in our enchanted book. And again, it has to be epic since it's a level epic. And then the last thing we're going to need is a glass bottle. And so what will happen is, the other way to do it is you will need a creeper to get hit by lightning, but you can do that here with the lightning bolt. Sorry if that was loud. So we hit the creeper, run up, you'll right click them. Well, let's see if we can do it before. Maybe we got him before he, there it is, we got one. So that's how you would get the bottle of lightning, you know, with the creeper way, but you'll find those normally within those magic castles. So now we have everything. You can craft it together now to make the Ancient Codex. So now you have the best spell book in the game. You see it also has a 20% base cooldown reduction, so it's going to help you be able to use your spells faster. So now you have the Ancient Codex, you have everything. Now let's talk about making stronger spells. And this is probably the hardest part of everything because it's going to take a lot of time to upgrade your spells, and you'll find high spell like level spells. So one way you can do that is to fight the dead king. To do that, you'll create the wayward stone or the wayward compass, and it'll point towards where the dead king is. I just made an episode on fighting the dead king, so you're gonna go check that out and kind of see what happens. He gives you some really good stuff, but if you want to go the long way with it and the not easier but less stressful way, it is kind of stressful still, but you're gonna need a lot of ink. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna come over, you're gonna make the arcane anvil, and again, it's in your quest book here. It's again another netherite ingot, so you have to go back to the nether, get more netherite, 2 anvils, blocks of amethyst you'll find in the world, and you'll make the arcane anvil. So I'm going to show you kind of like what it means with making spells, upgrading spells, things like that. So it's a whole process in itself. I'm going to clear my inventory a little bit. I already put a chest up here just to demonstrate. So how the spells work is I have, 2, 4, 8 spells here. We're going to put all these in my inventory. We have 8 of the same level 1 spell. And we're going to start at level 1 just to show you. So how the anvil works, you can't combine a level 1 with the level 2 to make a level 3. That's not how it works. You have to do the same level, then it levels it up 1 time. So if I put 2 level 1s, it's going to make a level 2. If I do a level 2 with a level 1, it doesn't work. In any way you put it, there's a level 1, move this one here. It doesn't work. So now what you have to do is then make another level 1. Now you have 2 level 2s. So now if I put 2 level 2s in, that now becomes a level 3. And so on and so forth on exactly how that works. So we'll just do this real quick. Level 1, another level 1, goes to level 2, put 2 more level 2s in. Now we have 2 level 3s. And that will make a level 4, which now goes to an uncommon. So you get what that is. And again, to make the magic missile one, So that was 8 level 1s to make 1 level 4. So you're going to need that many Ender Eyes, that many uncommon or common inks, all that stuff just to get this to level 4. Now again, you're going to need to make 8 more level 1s to make another level 4 to then make 1 level 5, as you can see. And the magic missile goes all the way up to 10 legendary. And so you can do this way and you will get there in time. It's just going to take a lot of, you know, grinding to get the ink, because you can't just craft the ink. It's uncraftable. You have to find it in the world and to just get all the supplies with it. So I think it's easier to find those spells. The Dead King was kind of hard to fight. It wasn't too bad with the level I am in my playthrough. So if you want to check out kind of how hard he is to battle, I would go look at that. But that is kind of the manual way to get there. And so this is every step along the way with the spell books. The armor I'm wearing, we can get into a whole nother episode about, kind of guide on the best like armors, even the staffs. I just showed you the Staff of Destruction, things like that. So we'll make more guides on those, but this was kind of a guide around the spell books and spells in general. If you want more guides like this one, leave a comment below on kind of what you guys want to see. I'll do my best to make a video around it. But if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. I want to see you in the next one.